Hi everyone, Melanie here and welcome back to my channel. I am back in the UK now and I've got lots of videos lined up for you, like this one talking about the painful side of rejection. Like literally, rejection is painful. Managing being dumped, dealing with rejection, the really painful sides of a relationship breakup basically. And one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that there is actually scientific evidence to prove that rejection actually is experienced as physical pain. Yes, there are functional MRI studies which show that when participants were shown photos of their exes and they had to look at the photographs and recall the experience in their minds, that the same areas in the brain that experience physical pain light up. So the same sensory components of the brain would light up when they're looking at the photos and dwelling on rejection. So the point being is that even though they were just feeling a feeling that is rejection, the brain was interpreting it as if physical pain was actually happening. Why does this happen though? Well, there's an evolutionary advantage here. The brain is hardwired to pay attention to feelings of rejection. It's meant to get our attention to think, oh, okay, what's going on here? This is because we are people in a pack. We may live alone, we may be solitary people, but it never used to be this way. Our earliest of ancestors would live in tribes. This is to keep safe. There is safety in a pack. There's safety in a tribe. Now, our brains will alert us to situations in which we don't feel safe. And as such, the risk of being rejected and ostracized, pushed out of the pack, it is a threat to our survival. And as such, it would make sense that if we experience physical pain, then we will become more alert to what's going on and become hypervigilant and maybe adapt our behaviors so that we can be in the group and reduce our risk of being ostracized. I made an earlier video talking about scapegoating, and in that video I explained why the term scapegoating is what it is. It was a goat that was put outside of its herd and it had to go fend for itself now. And it was dangerous for the goat. It was away from its herd. It's having to fend for itself now. And that's what it feels like when we're experiencing rejection. It's, I'm alone now. Whether that's rejection from a relationship with just one other person, or maybe it's rejection from our family pack, or rejection from our friendship group. The difference between emotional pain and physical pain is that we have a tendency to dwell on one more than the other. For example, I experience a lot of physical pain when I'm having a tattoo session, especially when the session goes into 5 hours, 6 hour mark. It's not nice. It is very, very, very painful. After the tattoo finished, I did not go home and rethink the session in my mind. I did not spend days and weeks later on after the tattoo session thinking about the experience in my mind. To be honest, I can't really remember it. The only time I remember what the tattoo pain is like is when I'm having a new tattoo and I was like, oh, the memories are coming back. Why am I doing this? And then it's fine afterwards. No, it wasn't a traumatic experience for me. It's granted, physical pain can be inflicted in a traumatic situation, but generally we don't really choose to think of times when we've hurt ourselves physically. No, we actually prefer to think about the times when we experience emotional pain, and we'll go over and over and over and over in our heads moments of when we were outcasted, moments when we were rejected, whether it's from our now ex-partner, rejected from our friendship group, whether it's rejected from the family pack by feeling ashamed, by being shamed. We will prefer to recollect and think and dwell and ruminate on these experiences way more than any experiences in which we experience physical pain. It's a really painful time. It can be quite emotionally traumatizing or re-traumatizing if this is something that's often happened, if the end of this relationship has brought up stuff that needed to be resolved. And that's it. Often it's the breakup of a relationship which can be the biggest mirror for us as a person. We really see sides of ourselves that we may not like. We may have been shamed to even look there in the past, and you can't escape it when you've just been dumped or when you've broken up with someone. Regardless how it ended, the end of a relationship is really revealing as to who we are as people. It's good old shadow self-work. There is our shadow, showing maybe the sides of us that we don't like the needy side, the clingy side, the insecure side of us, the jealous side of us. This all comes out when it's the end of a relationship and it hasn't been a very good breakup. So I'm making this video not only to bring you some sort of comfort in that our brains are hardwired to experience rejection as pain, don't be so hard on yourself, it's okay and all that, but actually to point out that we are so hardwired to pay attention to any threat of our survival, and this includes rejection, that we will adapt our behavior so that we're not ostracized from the pack. And then this is when we need to pay attention to how we're reacting to things. Are you feeling like you want to get back with your ex because you don't want to be on your own? And this doesn't even just apply to relationships. This is such an ingrained need to be part of a tribe, whether that's friendship, whether that's family, that are we just completely adapting our behaviors just so that we can soothe our fears of being ostracized? There's absolutely no shame in admitting that you just don't want to be alone, that it sucks to be ostracized, to be rejected. You're not alone there, and it takes a lot of courage to admit that we're finding it difficult being on our own. We find it difficult to be rejected. So that's what this video is. It's to give you some comfort in that we're actually hardwired to experience rejection as if it's physical pain. I mean, there's even studies showing that we release natural opioids. So these are natural antidepressants. Times like this, meaning that we're only releasing this if we're experiencing pain, physical pain as well. The point I'm making is that it's okay to admit if you've made choices in the past where you joined a friendship group, you spend time with friends, you entered into a relationship with someone that perhaps you shouldn't have because you just didn't want to be on your own. There's a very strong need for us to want to belong in a pack and in a tribe. But be aware of this urge that exists within all of us to some extent. This urge, this desire, sometimes can make the overriding decision when it comes to deciding whether this person is a good person to be with. This is why I do what I do. I specialize in the field of trauma. And when you break up with someone, it can be a traumatic experience. Things come up from the past. We see sides of ourselves that we didn't like, or maybe we didn't know that we have. It's a horrible time, and you're making it worse by dwelling over what happened when you keep replaying it over and over in your mind. Now, this is where I help as a trauma counselor, someone who specializes in helping people recover from trauma. If you want to know more about the work that I do, please drop me an email. My email address is in the description below. So I'm going to leave it here for now. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe if you like what I've got coming out. I've got some more videos lined up, all to do with helping you through the painful stages of relationship breakups. And yeah, leave your comments below, leave your thoughts below in the comments, and have a lovely evening. Take care.